Good morning, traders. Today is June 25th, a Tuesday in 2024. Summer has begun. It's going to be short, so hang on. We're going to start here with gold and looking at what the possibility is with gold here. So we see that gold is now in this range, and yes, could we say it's head and shoulders? Maybe, yeah, we could say that, but will it end up being one? There's our shoulder, there's our head, there's our shoulder, there's the neckline. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that we could see a pullback in this. So where do we want to see the pullback? Well, let's take a fib, pull it up, and a good pullback would be right in this zone here. So if we could have a move that pushed on down like this, that'd be a really good pullback. And then I would expect to see gold turn and pull up and maybe pull down a little bit more, but eventually gold is going to do something like this. Just kind of probably pop around over here for a while, do like that, and then break out again. Okay, so the breakout may not be till way down the line into next year. We'll see. But right now, what are we looking for? Well, if we zero in on this, and we'll go to the 4-hour chart to zero in on this, what we want to see is probably this swing materialize. Okay, so we're looking at gold to hit a target of about 2,247, right about down in here. So we're looking for gold to drop down there. So that's what I would put on the trade this week to do, is to see it drop down to there. So that's our outlook for gold. Now we're going to move on to pound Aussie. Want to give you a bird's eye view of pound Aussie, what it's doing. So you see this large kind of like wedge range, and then it's tightening up here. Okay, so what we're going to focus on is this tightening right here. So let's go down, or let's blow that up, and we'll look at this real quick. So we are long pound Aussie right now off the bottom of that wedge, and let me shore this up a little bit right here. We are long here. What we are looking for is, so you see, let me pull out my pin here, you see how we have a lower high here and how we have a higher low right there. So we're still in this tightening phase with pound Aussie. Right now, when you're in a tightening phase, you're not really sure which way it's going to go, but you can gain some clues on this. So let me show you how you gain some clues. Let's go ahead and scan this. Let's go way back out on it again, and we'll squeeze it up and we'll look for those clues. All right, way back. Okay, so you see here that we had this high here, then we had an incredible down move, and that was because of the GFC. And then we had a climb back out and then a pullback. Okay, now what's this pullback? This pullback is a higher low versus this one right here. And then this one right here is another higher low. So if I had to sit down and make a decision on which way this is going to go, I'm going to think that this is going to break out to the top side, right? And that our channels are going to change. And so instead of having a wedge, we're now going to have something like this. Let me back this up a little bit so you can see. We're going to have something like this, okay? So which means that we're going to have this swing from here to here. So if we do a swing from there to there and we pull, okay, not perfect, but close enough. We pull, we see that way over here where this channel continues to go up, we see that the 27 fib sets right over here. Okay, so it sets right over here. So what we can expect is up, you know, retest, back up, retest, back, break, test, up, 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 back, pull back, retest again, pull back, pull back, pull back, and break, and up. Okay, we're probably going to see something like that. We may see larger pullbacks in this move up, but again, this is way in the future. But each one of these push outs we can trade, and pullbacks we can trade. Now, of course, it's on the daily. You can do a lot more trades. Being down there on the 1 hour, 4 hour, you can scale into these trades and really make a lot more than just putting on a single or a single or maybe two and riding it clear up to there for the next 2 years. So we teach you how to do this and how to get down there on the 15, the 1 hour, the 4 minute charts, and really scale into a position so you're making a lot more than if you were just running a single position. But this is our outlook. So just showing you how we get that, give you a kind of understanding how we get that. And now we can zero back in on where we're at, way here, way in this wedgie, okay? And we can see why we're long. Okay, so it's better right now to be long simply because we have higher lows in the overall daily outlook and the chart that we're trading. So we want to position in this to the long side. Now, what do we expect when we get up to this area here? Well, there'll be one or two things. We'll do something like this. Obviously, we're going to go back and forth getting here. We may come up to here, pull back and break out, and then come back, retest. We may look for something like that, or we just may look for a straight out blowout, break, pull back, and take off. Okay, it's one of those two if it's going to break to the long side. Now, am I 100% sure that this is going to break to the long side? No, I am not. But what I am doing is I'm taking the probabilities. What direction, based upon what I have seen in the past, tells me that this is more likely to break to the top side than the downside. And so that's what I've done. I've used the past to give me an outlook for the future. Is it 100% correct? Never is. So you approach things with a probability. And we try to get the probability ratio anywhere between 60% right to 85, maybe if we're really good, 90% right. Okay, but that's trading. So that's what you had to work with. But thought I'd show you this, but we're long. And we are looking for at least a target about 1.93171 on this. And do we get that this week? No. But looking for it to come in the next few weeks. Next up is Euro Aussie. We are short on this. We've been short on it. It finished its range in here and broke to the downside. You see on the daily, the retested. It's you had this break here. Let me blow this up a little bit more so you can see it. Had its break on this candle. This candle retested the break, and then it came down, pulled back, another retest, and then moved down. Now we're pulling back to head down further. So the whole outlook on this, again, we like to look way back so we can understand what's happening here. Okay, we're going to make a higher low, and that's what we're doing right now. We're making a higher low, and we have this previous channel setting right here. Get that short up a little bit more. So we want to see a pullback here, and what we're seeing is a pullback to a fib point. Now there's several points that we could pull back to. This is a point of pullback. This is a point of pullback. Even this is a point of pullback. Okay. And so is this one right here. Now, if we take the furthest one here and we ran a fib up like this, the channel pullback, you get that just right there. The channel pullback hits at about the 0.41 fib. So you see where we ranged at, that was the 0.27. So we know we're on target here. We know that we've got something going on here. Where's the other ones at? Well, look at resistance. It sets there at the 50. Okay. Look at the other one here. Another resistance zone is sitting here at 41, which we're coming down to. So where does this pull back to? Well, we don't really know, but there are points that we can risk a trade at. Okay, and one of those points is going to be here at 0.41. So if we want to turn and burn long to or go to the long side, that's where we're going to look to do it at. Now we're going to wait for the signal to tell us that that's the spot, and we teach you how to do those signals. But 1.59298 is close to the spot we're looking at. It could be a little bit lower than that, maybe 1.58914, but somewhere in that zone is what we're looking for. What can we do in the meantime? In the meantime, we can go short on pullbacks. So whenever we get a pullback, we can go short on it until we hit down here. And we can add to this short position on those pullbacks. So you get profit points, take profits, pull back, down. That's how you play the game. So that's what we'd be looking for, is a profit zone. And we've hit one because this swing, and we're going to blow it up here so you can see what we're talking about now. Just wanted to show you what we are looking for, okay? But here's the swing right here. So the swing was from here to this side right here, and we hit profit zone at 7.8, okay? Now we need to do a pullback, and we're doing the pullback. And the way we do that was we just fib it back out. So we take a fib here and we pull it back down, and we look at a turning point. So we're coming up a resistance here at the 27. If it breaks past that, we'll look at the 41. If it breaks past that, we'll look at the 50 here, okay? We'll just look at these different profit points to see where the reversals are going to be at, okay? And when we get a reversal signal in the candles, then we'll go ahead and get or add another position to that. So we take some profit here. We don't leave the original position, but we take some profit there. And maybe up here we'll add on, say it pulls back to about the 4-1, we'll put it on 2 positions there, okay? And bring it back down. But that's what we're always looking for. Then we'll fib that zone and we'll swing it from there down to our profit target. And somewhere down in here is where we're gonna hit that at and take profit down there. But again, this is what you're looking for when you're trading. You're looking for movements in the markets, cyclical movements, and we use fib to do that with. But we have some other tools we use. Nothing spectacular, just basic what you can get for free and set up. And you just got to learn how to use your stuff and use it consistently, and it works good for you. But we teach you how to do that in Alpha Trader. So that's what we're looking for on Euro Aussie. We are adding to that short on pullback. Next, I'm going to look at pound yen. I'm not going to go to yen today, but pound yen, we are both long. You know, I've been long dollar yen for a while, and pound yen as well. But let me show you again, like I've shown you with the other, why I'm long this, or why my bias is to the long side on a weakening yen. Now, there is macroeconomics involved in this, but there's also technical analysis, and I'm just going to share with you the technical side of things today. So if we take the pound yen, in fact, let's go out on a weekly chart, it gives you a better view of that. We take the pound yen, you can see what's going on here. So what's happening here? We are in a range. So you see pound yen has dropped significantly down. So significantly, and it's in a range, okay? So you had this resistant level. If you go back further, you'll see why I have the resistant level there, but we won't go into that. But that is broken now, okay? So that resistant level is breaking, I should say. And what I expect to have happen is I expect this swing here to be fulfilled. So what I'm looking for in the overall scope of pound yen is this right here, okay? And that hits, and pound yen, I really like the upper echelon of the fib levels around the 685, 78 levels, but here you see the 61 lands just about perfectly on our channel line right there of the range, okay? So those are the types of things we are looking at to get us to that top area there, okay? So that's why we look at this level, and that's why when we break it, we're now looking to this next level. What's next level? I know we're on the weekly, but it's 215. That's where we're going to. So what we do is we identify a space of where we're going to, and we'll just block this area out here. So this is the space right here, okay? And then when we go down into the daily, the 4 hour, we're going to identify pullbacks. Now it's a little bit further over there. We'll bring it over here. Come over here, be kind, okay? We're going to identify pullbacks in that area to add to position. Okay, so now let's blow this up. Now that we have an understanding of what's going on, we can trade it much better. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart right here, and we are looking for pullbacks. So each one of these pullbacks that we had here, this one here, is a fib swing. So we come up here, we get almost, I need to adjust that just a tad bit more right there. Get almost to the 27, we pull back, then we push out, we come through here, we break through it, we hit the 41, we pull back. Now we're up to the 50, we're holding there. What happens if we break out of this? Well, we're going up to the 61, the 78. This 78 up here, and then we can pull back significantly, and then we look for the change, do the fib, swing it up, add to the position. So this is where we look to take profits at. So the 50 is a good place to take profits. On the pound, it's not the spot that I look for as the end all be all. I like taking profits more in the 68 range with pound. But these are the areas we look to take profits at, okay? So that's how we view it. This is how looking back and seeing the overall big picture can help us plan for the smaller picture. So now when you go down into the 1-hour chart or even the 15-minute chart, you know what you're trading. You know you're trading up against this 50. So when you have a range like this, you're saying, hey, this is tightening up to either pull back or to break up. And all you do is look for those signals. So what kind of signals would you be looking for? Well, in this case here, let's just blow this up. This is a 15-minute chart. Okay, we have here a high. So it pushed out a little bit above the 50, came back down into it. We have a low. We have a lower high. We have a lower low. We have a lower high. We have a lower low. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to check this low here. And what we do is we take a fib, we pull it from the bottom here to the top, okay? And where is that hit at? It hits at right on 9.458, okay? And so it bounces right off of that. That's just above the 50. Bounces right off of that. And what does it do now? It produces a lower high, okay? Well, what happens over here? Well, it pulls back, but it produces a higher low, and then a higher high, and then a lower, and then a lower. So what do we make of this? Well, what we make of it is that if we take a channel and we draw to the high points, and we take a channel and we draw from the low points, what do we have? We have a wedge, okay? Where is the price action hanging out on this wedge? It's hanging out to the top side. Okay, so we come in here, we tighten this up even more. Whoops, tighten this up even more right here. What is it telling us? It's telling us that momentum is building for a break to the top side. And where would be the next target? So if I was trading here on the 15-minute chart, this would be my next target right there at the 61. And this would be my next one right here. And this would be my next one. So what do I look for? Well, when this breaks out, it's going to hit this probably here, pull back some, and then come up and hit this. I'm going to be looking at taking some profits there. But I'm also going to be looking at, if this pulls back, does it start to peekaboo out? Okay? And so whatever I have on board, if I get a, let's say I get a pullback here, and I add, and it starts to peekaboo out, whatever I have on board, I can add to that position again. So I've added here, and I've added here for this breakout to here. And then I can take this off, I can take this off, and I can leave what I have on down in here. Let's just say I added something down in here or down in here. I can leave that on, or I can leave this on and take this off. I have lots of decisions I can make on how I want to manage this trade, because when it gets up here, I don't know if we're going to get a pullback, but if we do, then I could add again for a hit up to here, okay? And that's how you develop the management skills. Now, when you get down into these nitty gritties, there's ways that we have to confirm or give a higher probability of, do I add here or do I not add, okay? and we can teach you how to do that. But that's basically the concept of how you look at things when you're trading and how you manage your account. So our outlook on pound yen is a breakout and a continuation to the top side. Okay, the last time I did a video, which was over a month ago, this was our outlook. I did not erase it. We hit target right there, and we're pulling back, okay? Do I think that we're finished? Absolutely not. I think we continue up on pullbacks, okay? But just to show you how you can take, let's just, again, squeeze this up. Let's flip it to a weekly, be easier to see. How you can take a setup, a pullback with a fib, and hit target 100%, okay? We knew this way down here, okay? Way down here, because why? Because we hit a fib level. I'll show that to you now from here to here. Okay, what fib level did we hit? We hit 18, okay? So we lifted off of that, we pulled back, but what did we do? We created a higher low. Okay, see the higher low right there? And then we created a higher high, you know? So it was really, really evident on pullbacks. We were moving up, and once we broke this level right here, it was off to the races. Yes, some resistance there, but we broke on through. We broke on through this part, this big resistance here, and we knew where we were going. We were going up to the 27. Look at how that pulled back perfectly and gave us an opportunity. Now, this was a little hard because I was wanting to come back here to the zero line and nail it there. It didn't. It tricked us, pulled up. So we didn't get all that move on the reversal, but once we got the signal, we got on it, pushed on through, went to the 50, took it off there at the 50. Now we're waiting to put back on. Where do I think this goes? I think that we continue to get a significant pullback here, a healthy pullback, I should call it, and then we continue to just head on up. I think we go to the 61. Oops, 61. 58. I think we go clear to the 78. Do we break that? We may. We may even break that. We shall see. Okay. Markets are already pricing in a Fed reduction. Obviously, they're probably going to do that for the election to make everything look good, that we talked about in the last video. So yes, I expect that we could really head up to the 7-8 level, which sets around 21,000 some change. Okay, 21.7. So definitely we could head on up there, but we'll see. We need to break the 50. Once we break the 50, we take it in levels and we look at each level and let it determine to us what it's going to do next, okay? And again, we have certain ways of marking that and planning for that. So that's our outlook on the NASDAQ. So pretty much that wraps it up for this week. I went into more detail of how I look at trades, just some of the things I do to scale into a trade, where I look for swings to go to. Is it perfect science? Absolutely not. There's a lot of things that have to happen when you're in a position. So there's accumulation phases, there's distribution phases, and sometimes those accumulations are for a downside move in the process. And you just have to know where you're at in the process so that you can make an educated decision on, do I need to get out of this trade, and is this the right place to get out of it at, or do I just need to stay in it and wait for this pullback to finish so that we can go to the next level? You need to understand where you're at in that either currency or index, whatever you're trading. You need to understand where you're at in the cycle. And once you understand that, you can plan out your trades, and you can then go down into the weeds, into the 15-minute charts, and add positions to that additional your original position, and that's the way you grow your accounts. You don't grow it by adding to losing positions. You get out of your losses quickly and you add to your winning positions, and that is the best way to trade. Now, I'm not saying that scaling into the position is wrong, because that is also a practice where you have certain levels, because you don't always know where the pullback is going to be at, that you add a position, and maybe it's the first position is small, then as it keeps pulling back, you add a larger until your third position is the largest of the three, which scaled into the position is going to, when it reverses to the top side in your favor, is going to give you a proper risk scale in, okay? But that's not what I'm talking about most people do. I'm talking about most people have no idea where they're at. The position goes against them, and they're thinking that by putting on big position, when the reversal happens, they're going to get out of the trade and do it with some sort of profit or break even. That is the wrong kind of mindset for trading, and that's what we teach you not to do, okay? So just wanted to clarify what I was meaning by when I'm saying adding to a losing position. We want to add to our winners, okay? But this concludes this week. Again, look, markets are going to be, we're in summer, so expect some kind of crazies coming out of the woodwork. All the big money is in the Hamptons now and doing their vacations, but we're going to really just look at things for the summer. I think it's going to be a good summer. It's election year, so obviously we're going to have some good movement. So be prepared for that. Take care. Have a great week. Questions, just leave it in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Take care now.